How did Rockstar actually become Rockstar? Yeah, we're all super excited about GTA 6, and vacations for next year are already booked because of it. But how about we take a little look back? How did Rockstar actually become the company that only needs to release one single new game in 10 years and still sits unchallenged at the very top? Yes, that one game was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that just happens to be the greatest game in the world, so Rockstar has forever earned a special place. But let's be real, that's not exactly normal in this industry. So, how did it all happen? Dan and Sam Houser, two brothers from London, born into an artistic family with a tendency to rebel and go against the grain. With an actress mom and a jazz musician dad, it's no surprise Dan and Sam ended up in the entertainment industry too, at BMG, the German Bertelsmann music group. Out of that came a subdivision called BMG Interactive, where they took their first small steps into gaming as a publisher. Dan and Sam, who just loved playing games, then stumbled across a small title with the catchy name Race and Chase by DMA Design. It was originally planned as a racing game where you could also crash around, built on the cops versus criminals concept, but then they simply flipped it. Instead of playing as a cop, you played as a criminal. And out of that, in 1997, came the very first Grand Theft Auto, still totally old-school top-down perspective. And even though the game looked terrible from today's point of view, it was enough to cause a complete meltdown in the press. Wait, you can run people over and steal cars? Excuse me. And exactly that media outrage gave GTA the attention it needed. It was the perfect example of the Streisand effect. The game itself wasn't revolutionary. Even by the standards back then, it didn't look great, and reviews were mostly average. The music was always praised, which fit perfectly with the Houser brothers, but the rest was more like meh. Still, thanks to the controversy surrounding the violence in the game and calls to outright ban it, GTA got a massive marketing push. 1 year later, Take-Two stepped in and bought BMG Interactive, and Dan Houser, having tasted success, came along for the ride. For the London brothers, that meant crossing the Atlantic to Manhattan, now under the new name Rockstar Games. GTA 2 was already published by Rockstar, just as we know it today. They still worked with DMA Design, but this time Dan Houser was involved as a writer. Of course, Rockstar wasn't just GTA, there were other games too. For example, Earthworm Jim as a platformer, or Thrasher, Skate and Destroy, as a response to Tony Hawk's. Both games were more on the mediocre side, but ultimately served as valuable learning experiences for Rockstar. Midnight Club was solid, and that open-world experience would pay off later. And with Max Payne, Rockstar also created a brand new IP. The real game changer, though, was GTA 3 in 2001. The first 3D GTA, and holy smokes, as people used to say, it was insane. After that, everybody suddenly wanted to make open-world games. Looking back now, it's wild to think Rockstar used to release a new GTA every 2 years, different times. This was also the first GTA that received really strong reviews. Rockstar had established itself as a company that could create games that were both realistic and totally crazy at the same time. Not only did we get violence and car chases, but also a completely new level of freedom. An open world that was groundbreaking at the time. In Grand Theft Auto 3, you could just pick up prostitutes, and together with the ongoing Killer Games debate, that of course caused huge backlash. But the Oscar for Best Timing definitely went to Grand Theft Auto 3's release. It came out 1 month after September 11th. Dropping a game after that tragedy, one set in a New York-inspired world where you could blow everything up, didn't sit well with a lot of people. Rockstar realized this, and the original release, planned for just a week after the attacks, was delayed by 3 weeks. During that time, they also made small changes. Police cars, which looked a lot like the real ones in New York, were redesigned. A plane's flight path was changed, so it didn't look like it was crashing into a building. And one whole mission related to terrorism was cut. With San Andreas, Rockstar didn't just give us an even bigger world with different landscapes and cities, but also a whole new level of realism. CJ could literally get fat from eating too much fast food, get a haircut, build muscles, everything. It was another huge leap forward for GTA. But Rockstar didn't just rest on GTA. They followed up with sequels to Midnight Club and Max Payne, but also tried new IPs. Bully, for example, was super fun. Honestly, we could use a Bully 2, or at least a remake. Manhunt, on the other hand, pushed the level of violence to the extreme. In New Zealand and Australia, the game was completely banned, and even the court in Munich ruled that Manhunt portrayed killing people as fun, so the game was confiscated. That didn't stop Rockstar from releasing Manhunt 2-3 years later, which, unsurprisingly, was banned or indexed in many countries, including Germany. But far more important than Manhunt was Red Dead Revolver, which came out around that time. The first steps into the Wild West. Not the most amazing game ever, but thanks to it, we later got Arthur Morgan. And for that, we'll be forever grateful. From around 2008, Rockstar's philosophy became clear. Let's just make huge, awesome games that bring new things to the market every time. GTA 4 then gave us Nico, and of course, there was controversy again. This time, because you could drive drunk. Oh my god, sorry, but when Roman asks me to go bowling for the 4th time, I'm only doing that drunk. Red Dead Redemption was released in 2010, and it hit like a bomb. Amazing story, hilarious characters, and even though I hate the phrase, GTA with horses. And of course, motherfucking John Marston. The last experiment was El Noir. The idea of analyzing faces closely to see if someone was lying was cool. But if there's one thing Rockstar does best, it's action. And L.A. Noire just wasn't that. That was also the turning point where Rockstar decided to focus only on established series. The logical step, full focus on GTA and Red Dead Redemption. GTA 5 came in 2013, and with GTA Online, Rockstar got the biggest cash cow of all time. And then, in 2018, the greatest game ever made, Red Dead Redemption 2. Since then, things have been pretty quiet around Rockstar. Sure, there was the massive fail of the GTA trilogy, the remakes were a total disaster, but let's not even talk about that. Otherwise, silence. And now, we've all been patiently waiting for GTA 6 for 12 years. And the moment GTA 6 drops, I'll be the first one standing outside Rockstar's office asking for Red Dead 3. Meanwhile, a lot happened behind the scenes too. Dan Houser left Rockstar and founded his own company, Absurd Ventures. We're still waiting for info on their first game. Whether Dan will carry over Rockstar's spirit to Absurd Ventures remains to be seen. I really hope so. Imagine we had 2 studios that just ignore what's standard in video games today and instead create something crazier. That's exactly how Rockstar became Rockstar. They simply didn't care about what was considered normal or possible. No wonder GTA 6 has been in development for 8 years. Innovation takes time. And honestly, I'd wait another 12 years for Red Dead Redemption 3.